Jerome, Athanasius, Augustine, and others, viewed the book as an allegory of Christ's love for the bride and the church. And it is. It's all of the above. It's a very, very interesting book. It's a very practical handbook on sexual practice. It is a book of God's relationship with Israel. It's also a book that can have application as an allegory to Christ's thing. But the key, of course, is Psalm 45, a song of loves, a royal marriage hymn, and a heavenly bridegroom's involved. So let's get that in mind. So some say it's a suite of 7 idols. An idol is a little picture. It comes from the Greek idyllion, which comes from 3rd century, a Sicilian poet, and that's if you're interested in structure. But there's 7 elements to this that make up the story. But let's cut through this and actually look at the story. It's actually an opera. And let's look at the story behind the opera. Solomon is the hero of the piece. And Shulamit is the Cinderella of the piece, if you will. Shulamit is simply the feminine of Solomon. It's Mr. and Mrs. Solomon is what the terms imply. In the mountain district of Ephraim, King Solomon had a vineyard. That's in chapter 8, verse 11 of this thing. And he let it out to an Ephraimite family as keepers. The husband and father apparently had passed away, and there was a mother and at least 2 sons and 2 daughters. And the older daughter, called Shulamit, is the Cinderella, as the piece, as I say. Her brothers did not appreciate her and fostered all kinds of hard tasks upon her, denying her the privilege that a growing girl might be expected to enjoy in a Jewish home. She says, my mother's sons were angry with me. That makes it sound like maybe they were half-brothers, okay? And in any case, they didn't appreciate her, and she says, my own vineyard I have not kept. In other words, she had no opportunity to look after her own interests. She's so busy with the tasks that they put on. So we also get the impression that she had no opportunity to look after herself. She's probably sunburned, but very naturally attractive. Well, finally, a handsome stranger shows up, and a stranger shepherd of some kind, and he views her as without blemish. Friendship ripens to affection and finally to love, and he promises to return and to make her his bride. He leaves. The brothers are skeptical. They taunt her. They regard her as being deceived by this stranger. He's gone a long time, and she would dream of him in darkness and just trusted him despite the time as it wore on. Then one day a huge cavalcade arrives with attendants of all kinds. The king has sent for you. In obedience, of course, she responds. And when she looks into his face, guess who? The king was the shepherd that had won her heart. And that's where she declares, I am my beloved's and his desire is toward me. So that's the big climax of the thing. I am my beloved and his desire is toward me. So that's the opera.